come to you.
Ahavah Cinderella.
In the name of the only begotten Son, Christ.
Ahavah Cinderella.
Ask you to bless us and watch over us and keep us, Lord.
Ahavah Cinderella.
Wake up from sleep, feeding the sheep. If you want the kingdom, you must be born again. The Bible like a sword, precepts so sharp it'll pierce your skin. We ain't never gonna break a bed. 2 Corinthians 4, 8 through 10. Before Yahweh come, it's time to repent and get grafted in. Get grafted in. It's time to repent and get grafted in. Before Yahweh come, it's time to repent and get grafted in. Get grafted in. Get grafted in. Before Yahweh come, it's time to repent and get grafted in. Straight up.
Hey, what's going on YouTube, man? Shouts out to the live viewers. Shouts out to the replay viewers, man. I'm your host, Ahavah, and welcome to Blind Dating Faith, episode 2. You know what I mean? We got a good we got a good blind date for y'all today. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a nice, mature, grown and classy season show right here. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? I hope y'all enjoy. So, you know what I'm saying? Just like we did on the first episode, man, we're going to start out ladies first. So I'm going to come on and bring our first guest up here to the stage. Shalom, sis. Zimorayah.
Yes, shalom. Shalom, Ak. How are you?
Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Barakatah. Okay. It's all kind, yeah. It's all good to turn your camera on, sis. Oh, hold on, we lost her. Give me 1 second. Let me add her back to the stage. Okay, Khan. Okay.
Can you see me? Oh.
Got a bad. Okay, yeah. Well, if you could, probably gotta move the camera back a little bit so we could get you full. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. How about if I sit back? Is that better?
Yeah. Sitting back is cool. Okay, you know what I'm saying? We finally got you on the show, Zimorayah. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry it took so long, but we do our shows, you know what I'm saying, a week at a time, you know. Everybody got a work schedule they gotta deal with being in America, you know. But we doing our best as Israel, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
Con. Okay. So where you from, if I could?
I'm originally from Ohio. I'm from a suburb of Bedford, Ohio. I relocated to Georgia in 2021. So I'm about 4 hours from Atlanta, an hour from Savannah, and I live in a little city called Hinesville or Little Witsy.
Okay. Well, I did you a treat, you know what I mean? Because I actually found you someone that's in Georgia. I don't know where he's from in Georgia, but he is in Georgia.
Okay. Yeah, I meet people all over, but no one in Georgia.
Yeah. So you came to the right show, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
All right. So before I bring him on, we're gonna do the Hebrew cam. Are you familiar with the Hebrew cam?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, all right. Well, the Hebrew cam is basically you just stand up so we could just see a full body, you know what I'm saying, full body of yourself.
Okay, let me see if I can do that. I'm trying to see how I can turn. 1 second. Because I'm okay, here we go. Let's see. I'm gonna have to step out in the hall.
Okay. Con. Okay. How tall are you?
I'm 5'4".
Okay. She 5'4". Con. Okay, nice.
No.
Nice. With the pose. Striker. Yeah. Con.
Okay.
I'm about to let you get situated, and I'm gonna bring We're out.
Okay.
Yeah, how about Shem? Y'all shop rock and thigh. How you doing, Ra?
I'm grateful, brother.
Con, man. Hey, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on the show, man. So, you could go
No
ahead, turn
doubt.
your camera on now. Let me see. Let me see. Make sure the Wi-Fi connecting up. Let me see. It's a little too much light. It's a little too much light. Are you able
Too much
to
light.
find a?
Uh,
Yeah, because the window
uh,
behind you.
hold up. That better?
Is that better for you, Z?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like the Shekinah
Okay.
glory.
Oh, okay. Okay, she would.
Appreciate
You
that.
know what I'm saying? Most all right, brothers, you know what I'm saying? So this is your blind date, Zimorayah, you know what I mean? And like I said, you know what I'm saying, she's in Georgia. She's been having trouble finding someone in Georgia. So, you know what I'm saying, the most high you know what I'm saying, led us together, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So you in Georgia, so I hope this date work out. You know what I mean? Most high in Christ, just like Zedekiah just said. But before we get started with the date, you know what I'm saying? Do you mind doing the Hebrew cam for us too?
No doubt.
Okay. Yep. Okay. We official. You know what I mean? Know what I mean,
Yeah.
Z? You know what I mean? I
hmm
got you a tall brother. How tall are you?
I ain't that tall. I'm 5'8".
Oh, you 5'8". Damn, you look like you like
Yeah.
6 something.
It's
You
because of
know
my
what I'm saying?
it's because of my size.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I was like, dang, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I thought you played football or something. You look definitely tall. You
I
know what I
did used
mean?
to though. I played sports. I played football.
Oh yeah. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, man. I don't really want to take over the show, you know what I mean? So if y'all comfortable in moving forward, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all have it, okay?
Okay.
Okay, there you
Okay.
go. Bro.
Okay. Shalom, story.
Shalom. How are you?
Yeah, I was super grateful. Super grateful. Um, I've been in Georgia since December 2010. Alabama, so I've always lived this.
We have a little
Um,
connection
I-
breaking up a little bit. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I was just about to come in. The you know what I'm saying, the connection was kinda off. Yeah. Well, I guess you know what I'm saying, I guess until he come back, you know what I'm saying, I'll do my part. So yeah, so basically, you know what I mean, so I believe you said you living in Georgia, you know what I mean. Have you ever been married?
I'm a widow.
Oh, you're a widow?
Hmm.
Oh, okay. How long has that been?
May will be 3 years.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah, I know that. I know that's pretty tough. Being a widow and trying to find your partner at that. So, you know what I'm saying. But this is the reason why I'm doing this show. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, for our community, because a lot of people, they only care about themselves and what they got going on, But in the Hebrew Israelite community, we supposed to help each other out. You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't no, like shouldn't no woman, not have a covering, you know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? If like us as brothers, we supposed to be able to fill that void. So I really hope that this works out for you, Salakia.
Okay. How do you pronounce your name again? The brother that I'm meeting with tonight?
Well,
Raha?
uh-huh.
Okay. And so you were saying you came to Georgia in 2000 and, oh my.
I moved to Georgia December 4th, 2010, by way of Montgomery, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a Southerner. I've always been in the Southeast.
Oh, okay.
I
From the
I
South.
live yeah. I live 33 miles southwest of Atlanta.
Okay.
hmm
I'm
So,
going to
and
try to actually hook up to my phone. So let's hope that we don't lose each other. 1 second. I'm going to see.
okay. My problem
I'm having some problems too.
I got disconnected because I wasn't on my Wi-Fi. That's why I got disconnected.
Oh,
So now I'm on my Wi-Fi. So I'm pretty sure it'll work now.
okay. Let me see if I can.
All right. So I guess while you're getting that together, I guess I'll continue with Ra in the meantime.
Okay.
Yeah, Ox, so I'm gonna ask you the same question, you know what I mean? Have you ever been married?
I haven't.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no, I've never been married.
Why? Shoot, man, that's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm
Right,
saying? You know what I'm saying? Brothers coming up, man, you know what I'm saying? Like we married by what, 24, 30 something? You know what
right,
I mean? So, you know what I'm saying?
right.
So you just waiting for that right person, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the struggle in that, you know what I'm saying? How'd you deal with that? You know what I'm saying? Like waiting all this time.
Well, I believe in the word that coincidences don't happen. I've had some serious relationships, but nobody that I felt like I could be with the rest of my life. But I have dated several times. Um, um, but in my journey and in this process, most of the time has been, trying to find myself and try to find my identity in the world and in the word. And, you know, uh, I've always been in the word.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like biblically and spiritually, I'm at the best that I have been my entire being and my entire existence. I really feel like this is the most complete that I've ever been in. And things are shaping out the way I want it. I'm deep in my prayer life. I'm deep in my meditation. Um, and I'm deep in my conscious contact with the Most High. So I know I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Sometimes I know in this process, some people's journeys tend to differ greatly. But I know I'm right where I'm supposed to be, and I know as far as with my mindset, what I've been through, my life experience. I know in my heart of hearts that I can really be used. And there's a lot of people I can minister to, and a lot of people I can empower and uplift. So I'm grateful to be right where I am, and my focus day in and day out is to be used and to further the Most High's kingdom on a daily basis, and not make it about me.
Right, Khan, and you know what I'm saying? Also like when I look at your Facebook posts, like I see the realness in you, like you know what I'm saying? Like I see, you know what I'm saying, like whatever you going through, you praying about it, you know what I mean? And
Thank you.
I know the sister not here, yeah, Khan, and like I know the sister not here, but yeah, I mean your name is Ra'ah, which in Hebrew means to see. You know what
Correct.
I mean? So like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I know you a believer. I know you real about your faith and everything. And that brings me to my
Thank you.
second question, how long have you been in the truth?
Um, I got rebaptized according to Leviticus on January 5th of this year. But I don't really know what day that I actually came into the truth, because I've been in this journey really um, about 3 years ago,
Okay.
3 years and 3 months
Yes.
ago. Yeah, and I know the date where I quit drinking and I quit smoking weed. I know that day.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really know what day I actually came into the truth. I'm still in a process of evolution and elevating and growing. Um, but I don't really know the exact date that I actually came into the truth. But I feel like I'm getting further and further in the truth, and
Mm-hmm.
being in the light and doing what I'm supposed to according to the word and according to how things are supposed to be. And I know I still have a long way to go, and I'm grateful for that, because being alive, that means the Most High still got a lot for me, and I'm super grateful for that.
Con, man. Hey, all praises to the Most High, and the water for being that genuine on the show. And we got the sister Zimorayah back. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let y'all have it if I could. Zimorayah, you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Con, I hear you fine, loud and clear. So I'm gonna
Okay.
just, you know what I'm saying, if you want to piggyback off what the brother was saying,
Okay.
and I'm gonna let y'all have it.
Okay. Well, again, I'm Zimorayah. I'm a
Hey,
widow
okay,
since May of 2022.
okay.
Um, let me see. I started waking up in like December of 2016.
Mm,
I just wasn't quite sure what I was waking up to, um, because I've always been in the church. And so when the Most High was like, it's deeper than that, it's deeper than this. And I just couldn't understand, what do you mean deeper? Because I was in the holiness church. So I was already used to wearing my head covered, skirts, you know. So I'm like, how much deeper can it be than this? You know. Um, and then one day, um, I was at work and I just so happened to get in the car. And when I turned it on, there was a brother saying that we are the actual Jews that the Bible speak of. And to me, I just kind of woke up right then, you know. And so I went to the library and I got all these books and everything. And I just started, looking more and more. And sisters were like, read the Bible. And I'm like, I read the Bible. But I'm not that kind of person to get like smart with people. So I'm like, I do read the Bible. And she was like, no, read the Bible. And so then, I started getting different books, that I was just studying and just studying. So anyway, so long story short, I woke up the beginning of 2017 completely. Um, I have 5 adult children. Um, let me see. I don't know what else. um, I my whole life, I feel that I focus, to the Most High. I never want to please, displease Him. And I was just telling a sister today, if we look at the Most High like we fear our
Hey, Zimorayah, your camera cut off again. Dang. Well, the sister was cooking. The sister was cooking. You know what
She
I
was,
mean?
she
Okay, can
was.
Okay.
you
There
all
she
hear me
go. There
now?
she go.
Okay. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
yes.
My
Con,
son
con,
is
hear
called at the same time. Salakia,
you.
Salakia. Um, but my whole thing is pleasing the Most High. I do not want him to be ashamed of me, just like I didn't want my earthly father to be ashamed of me. I look at the Most High like you see everything. There's nothing that I can hide that he does not see. So my walk every day is to please him, and so that's my whole goal. And even in this widowhood of mine, I'm like, I can't just be with anyone. It's just like I have to trust the Most High. And if He choose not to, give me to another husband, then I have to be okay with that because I feel like my reproach is gone. I was married. I served my husband well. I served the Most High well. So I have no shame behind my name. I walk upright in the public. I do good things for people. Not that I can be seen, but that the Most High will be pleased with me. And I don't know what else to say. I love to cook. I love to bake. I love gardening. I like walking. Um, Let me see. Right now, I'm a caregiver of a quadriplegic retired vet. Mm, I don't know what else to say.
I don't want you to feel any pressure. But to speak on my journey, I don't have any kids. I had three close calls, but that wasn't in the Most High's will either one of those times. If I had to guess, it could have been because of who the woman was.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been three opportunities, close calls as far as me being a father.
Mm.
Um, I love, I love, I love to eat. You say you love to cook, so I love to eat.
Yeah.
I will cook, but I don't cook much. Um, I'm a school bus driver out here, so a lot of my time goes to my week. I've been doing that for 13 months. Um, I stopped eating beef July 6, 2019. I stopped eating pork February. Excuse me. Yeah, I stopped eating beef July 6, 2019. I stopped eating pork February 9th, 2019.
Mhm.
I stopped eating shellfish. I believe it was March 23rd, 2023. And after a Bible study, a few months ago, when I learned that I'm supposed to be eating catfish, I stopped eating catfish. I believe it was October of last year, I believe. Um,
Mhm.
so, you know, I'm like you. The Most High means so much to me. Um, my prayers have changed over time as you know, relating to what I selfishly wanted or what my selfish desires were.
Mhm.
I'm in the midst of praying for what He wants. I want Him to use me. So His kingdom can be furthered, and so He can be loved on and thanked and praised and glorified and magnified, honored, adored, and worshiped. I want
Yeah.
to be used. I don't want it about me. You know, my prayer is also to be successful doing His will. Um, I'm like you. I like to bless people in private and not tell anybody. I like to, uh, look out for people. You know, my prayer is to be blessed, so I can be a blessing to other people.
Yes.
Um, um, I'm somebody with positive vibes. I'm a happy-go-lucky person. I love to read. Of course, my favorite thing to read above anything would be the Word because there's so much
Mhm.
power in it. And I'm also grateful for this process because over time, the more that I read and the further I get along, like certain scriptures have been unlocked, and have been illuminated. And I go to Bible study twice a week, once on Tuesday, once on Friday. Um, like I said, it was January 3rd of 2022 that I put down alcohol and cannabis. I love to write. I have about 450 positive affirmations that I wrote.
Okay.
That just came from prayer and meditation that's on my phone that I will self-publish when the Most High put it on my heart to, get started. Um, I love, I love sports. I'm a family person. Um, I'm a brother that would give the shirt off my back to help somebody else out. Um, I'm not in a relationship. I'm not even dating. Um, and I'm open to whatever and whoever the Most High Heavenly Father has for me. And I'm somebody that maintains an attitude of gratitude. Um, so I guess that answered. Right. Yeah, I do want my next one to be the right one. Yeah.
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 And yeah. Um, and I know for a fact that it's a lot we can learn from each other. Like, obviously, you've been married before, you know what it's like to be in a long-term relationship, and what it feels like, you know. Um, I haven't made it there, so I don't really know what that's like, you know. Um, but it's not to say that I haven't had success, in my walk and in my journey,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and the things I've been able to do, and what he showed me, and what I've seen, and how excited I am for the future.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
most definitely.
Well,
Con, I got a question for you, Rahab, real quick, Salaki.
mm-hmm.
So,
All right.
so something that popped in my head, what I'm saying? So first Zimorayah, what I'm saying? How long was you married for?
Who, me? Okay, I'm sorry.
Con.
Okay. Um, for 14 years before my husband passed.
Okay, all right, Con. Okay. So my question for Rahab, being that you haven't had a long-term relationship, what I'm saying? Do you think you could like stick it in there? Because, what I'm saying, being with someone for 14 years, what I'm saying, you learn how to sacrifice, what I'm saying, for the, what I'm saying, for the other person, you know what I mean? Like you learn how to lose arguments just so it don't get bigger, you know what I mean? And because, what I'm saying, like I've been married for about like 5 years now. And before that, um, like like another five. So like I kind of got a decade in it. So you know what I mean? So like I learned, what I'm saying, to like keep a relationship, you gotta sacrifice for the greater good. So like do you think you able to, what I'm saying, to do that and like, stick it in there through the tough times, through when it get the ups and downs and loyalty?
Absolutely. I don't have a lot of, I don't have a lot of success in, long-term committed and romantic relationships. But just, as far as with family and with friends and even on the job front, I know it's not as important as it once was to have the last word or to be right. That's not as important. Um, I'm somebody, I don't really argue. I'd rather surrender. And the last word is not important to me, and
Con,
communication and consistency, uh, not just for relationships, but for friendships is good. I am aware that in a relationship, it's important to be both predictable and unpredictable. The predictability comes from I have to be uh, the one who my partner can rely and depend on but also be unpredictable as far as being spontaneous, and doing different things, in order to shower her with my love and to let her know she's on my mind and what she means to me. I know to be unpredictable, and I also know there's other spiritual principles that's important in relationships, which is both faith, humility, open-mindedness, most of all, honesty, being transparent, and being vulnerable, and like you started saying, brother, you know, um, um, compromising and sacrificing. But when it comes to sacrificing, I think it is for the better good. But when you come to think about it, like between two spouses, that it's not losing. You are compromising to win. You get what I'm saying? You're not losing. You're just, going back to the drawing board and thinking, how can I make this better? How can we progress and go forward with this? But I don't look at it as a loss, especially when two people feel strongly about each other and
No,
love each other. What'd you say?
right. Yeah, yeah, not right. Right now I'm saying con. And then we got a question from the chat for the sister. It's a question for the sister. Will you respect your husband enough to let him lead and teach you? That's for Zimorayah. And before you answer that, what does your name mean, Zimorayah? Before you answer that question.
My name means the Most High Grace. The Most High's grace.
Con.
hmm
Okay.
Absolutely. That's what I'm looking for ahead. Someone that can lead and someone that I can follow. Um, Being a wife before, I I already know what I would call my role as a wife. I'm tired. I don't want to lead. I I I don't mind making decisions as long as we can agree on the decisions. I know some men would just say, well, what do you think we should do? You know, and as he said, like we can compromise, like we can say, okay, well, what do you think about this? We work as a team. This is not just all about him or all about me. This is about us. We become one flesh. So the way he thinks, automatically I should think right with him. If we're in sync with each other and the Spirit of the Most High is leading and guiding us into all truth and understanding, I already know what he's thinking. He doesn't even have to tell me. I can just look at him and be like, okay, I got you. And the same way with me. He should know, okay, this is how she's feeling today. But that's when you're working together. But if you're pulling each other apart and not trying to come together, not being able to trust each other, that's where the problem will come in at in marriages, and people don't understand that. I actually used to teach women on how to be a wife. I had brothers contact my husband and ask if I can, teach their wives. It was a little difficult because it was polygamy, but nevertheless, I worked it out. Um, yes, but I have a question, if you don't mind. Um, what, how do you see Mother Sarah? How did you see Mother Sarah in her role as the wife of Abraham?
Um, Sarah had a lot of faith. Before her and Abraham, um, during their marriage, um, um, the way I look at it, she allowed Abraham to lead. She trusted Abraham that he was doing the right thing and making the right decisions. Um, um, I think I think both of them were skeptical in the beginning. Um, and although I feel like, although they may have had some doubt, that they saw the Most High, they believed Him to see them through, to see their relationship all the way through.
Did
Um,
you, Salakia, how do you think Abraham saw Sarah?
Good question. Um, I believe Abraham felt like he was being led by the Most High. Um, um, that was a great question. I appreciate that.
I mean, like, well, when I'm, it's because Abraham trusted his wife.
He did.
And even in the Proverbs 31,
Wow.
when he
Wow. You
said,
said Proverbs 31. That's the wife that I want. That's what that is actually in my almost everyday language. Go ahead.
okay, how her husband trusted her to where he was able to sit at the gate and he had no worry, and people spoke highly of him because he trusts his wife.
Correct.
Um, and even in Abraham and Sarah, the Most High told Abraham, it's okay, listen to your wife. Because when we're working together and we're in sync, I have your back 100%. So I mean you no harm. I won't do you any harm. I'm only there to lift you up. Um, I was talking to a very good friend of mine today, and she says, how did she put it? She was like, um, I like I already know what he needs before he needs it. And I said, that is what a wife is supposed to do. We should already know. Original Hebrew text, when it showed what a wife was, which is a tent and an eye, um, and a basket. But we are to watch over our husbands as they sleep. We're to have their back when they're out in the battlefield. His home is protected. He doesn't have to worry about what's going on in my home because he trusts his wife. And so my question was, how did you see Sarah? And how do you think Abraham saw Sarah? Is that he trusts his wife. Even in her doubt of being a mother at her age, he still trusted her. He didn't tell her, shut up, go sit down. I'm not going to sleep with your handmaid, Hagar. I'm trusting in the Most High.
He didn't disrespect her.
He didn't disrespect her, and she
Right.
didn't disrespect him.
Correct.
And so that's why the Most High had favor on them. And I think in a relationship, if people just put their guard down, I put on Facebook the other day,
And their ego.
brothers,
Set their
help,
ego aside.
right, help me to teach you to trust again. Like our men's, what I find with a lot of our men is they're so afraid to trust, is that they always are in stance to fight. I don't want to fight in my own home. I want
Right.
to be that pillar of rest. I want to
Right.
be when my husband comes home, he has no worries. You come in, you be like, I don't smell nothing cooking. I already got something planned. So it's not like you have to worry about anything. And I think that's a wife's position, is to make her husband not have to worry about anything other than what he has to worry about at work or what he has to deal with in the streets. But when you come home, your peace should be there, And so that's why I wanted to know what your stance was. Um,
I think the common denominator whenever a relationship isn't working and there's no faith and there's no trust, and either one of the spouses treat the other spouse like an enemy, as opposed to an asset, then that's when the Most High is not in the relationship and not in the
mm,
marriage. You know, in a relationship or even a friendship or even that, whatever the
Ship.
situation is. Yeah, I was just going to say that situationship, whatever the ship is, the Most High has to be in 100%, and two people have to let the Most High lead them, guide them, direct them, order them, and ordain them. And if he's not at the head to lead that relationship, friendship, whether it's a marriage, friendship, or a relationship with a family, with family members, it's not going to work. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when that it's going to falter and it's going to crumble. But when the Most High is all the way in there, and two people allow him to talk to them and lead them and guide them, direct them, order them, and ordain them, then it will be successful. And not only that, they could defeat all obstacles. They can overcome all obstacles. They'll be able to see a trial or a tribulation before it comes. They'll be able to see it before it comes. And like you said, favor, they will have refuge. The Most High is their fortress and as their rock and their salvation. That what people who do not have the Most High as their lead and as their guide and as their rock, they won't be able to compare as when the Most High is 100% involved. He's the only asset that you can have, and in a relationship, which, like I said earlier, involves consistency and communication, not having secrets, and that husband and that wife being each other's best friend, their homie, their praying buddies, their praying warriors, and they're each other's best friends, and nothing can overtake that. Not even the biggest trial or tribulation, nothing can overtake that.
Right.
And you start to see miracles unfold. I don't have the experience you have, but some things, what you don't know. You get what I'm saying? You know what you don't know because of what the Bible says. And whatever area in my life that in my mind I may feel like I lack, the Bible tells me I do not lack. And the Bible is the number one source for successful marriage, successful relationships, between two spouses, and just like you say in the very beginning, two becoming one. Two become one. There's no is absent of ego. You're absent of pride. You're absent of selfishness. And you two walk together in bliss. It's total bliss. And just like you can speak to a storm and tell the storm to leave. You can speak to that trial and that tribulation to leave. You're not wanted here. We believe and we love the Most High. We thank him, we praise him, we glorify him, magnify him.
Together.
Together on a daily basis. On a daily basis. Growing up, we was taught that, church is on one day. But in order to have a regular relationship with the Most High, it's all 7 days of the week throughout each day. Throughout each day, I have to surrender all over again and submit to his will. Each and every trial and tribulation and battle that two people come across or face, it's not their battle. It's not even our battle. It has nothing to do with us. We just happen to be two pawns. We just have to be two pawns in it. We just being used.
Always say that. We're like pawns in a chess
We're
game.
just two pawns. We should never take any trial or tribulation personal. It has nothing to do with us. It's bigger than us, as a matter of fact. Seek his face and seek his kingdom. That's what the word tells us, to seek his face and to seek his kingdom.
That's my
to be
favorite
honest,
scripture.
yeah, I had no idea.
The kingdom of the Most High. Absolutely.
I had no idea what this date was going to bring. But while the brother, the host, I read Psalm 27, and before I even went on, I waited before I went into the room and I read Psalm 23 because, if I don't know what to do, my best bet is to trust rely and depend on the Most High. You know, I know sometimes we'll pray for him, and we may not get a right away answer or a right away response, but we do know he's not going to leave us or forsake us. He's going to be right there with us, even if we don't get a direct answer or immediate response. You know, um, and that's, you know, it's just like this is a blind date. We have to have blind faith. You know, we have to walk. We have to walk by faith, not by sight. You know, and having that full trust. You know, anything is possible. You know, anything is possible.
Absolutely. Did you have any questions for me? Because I have a lot
Um,
of questions.
oh wow, I like challenges. I,
What is your definition of submissiveness?
well, if I wasn't doing the right thing and I wasn't letting the Most High lead me, and I wasn't in the spirit, I'd be a fool to think that you should submit to me. I was just telling somebody that the other day. If I'm not doing the right thing as a man of the Most High, how can I expect my wife to submit to me? You know, the only time that my wife should submit to me is if I'm doing the right thing. You know, if I'm not living how I speak and I'm not speaking as I live, there's no reason to submit. That it's going to be a storm, and it's going to be chaos if I'm not 100% in the spirit. You know, and for my wife to submit to me, the deeper part of that is for her to be my eyes and ears. You know, I need my wife to be my eyes and ears. Although she submits to me, I was actually reading something the other day, and they actually said, and this is good news for a wife, that if a wife submits to her man, she actually has the power. She has the power. You know, she has some type of responsibility. Um, and you know, although I have been single for a few months, you know, I do realize that, you know, I have come in the knowledge as far as, you know, being slow to speak and slow to react. I have to on my job. You know, I'm in the poorest part of the county that I drive in. You know, and you know, and my supervisor isn't the best supervisor. So a lot of times I get a lot of opportunities to practice humility. I really do. I get a lot of opportunities to practice humility. And the reason why I said I love challenges is because each time I have a challenge or each time I'm not in my comfort zone, I get a new chance to trust the Most High. You know, that's my favorite spiritual principle. You know, I'm at a humble state right now, you know, because this is being on a blind date is new and is unfamiliar. Um, and I'm staying out of my head and I'm letting the Most High do what He wants me to do. You know what I'm saying? So, um, being submissive means being humble. You know, trusting in the Most High that a woman's husband, her husband, will trust and lead her, and you know he will communicate. You know, and he won't lead her astray. You know, he won't leave her out. You know, if he's having a problem that has nothing to do with her, you know, he will tell her about it. You know, he won't leave her in the dark. You know, but you know, when a wife is submissive to her husband, it's not in the submission, as you know that um, um, that like she's his pet or something. She's his partner, you know, and as a man leads his wife and as she submits to him, He has to be humble too. He has to walk the walk. I can't suggest you do something if I'm not doing it. I can't be holier than thou. I have to lead in the spirit, and even though you're submitting to me, I have to I have to leave my feelings and my ego out of it. If you tell me the truth about something I'm doing or may not be doing, or somewhere in a relationship where I'm lacking, you know, I should always be for my feelings being risked, to save my face from the force, and to tell me the truth about something I'm doing and not take it personal, but look at it as to take it for the betterment of the relationship, but not as a hit, or not, as you were saying earlier. My spouse is not my enemy. That's my asset. And everything that we overcome and everything that we face, my wife is my asset. That's my best friend. You know, she's there in my rescue, in place of the Most High. You know, she can see what I can't see. And like I said, she's my extra set of eyes and ears. She's an asset. She's not a liability. She's an asset, and I'm an asset to her as well.
Right. Okay. I don't know if they have any other questions for us, but I guess we'll just keep talking until they come on.
Okay.
Oh
I guess
yeah,
I'm
yes.
okay.
Lock it. Come on. So so we got about 10 more minutes, you know what I'm saying? That'll complete the whole hour show. You know what I mean? Y'all got 10 more minutes unless y'all wanna start to wrap it up now. What y'all say?
Well,
Yeah.
I had two more questions. If he
Okay.
doesn't have any more questions,
Go
um,
ahead.
how do you take correction as a husband? Not from me so much, but say if a brother, or like you say, even your job. Like, how do you take correction? How do you filter that? Um, that as far as being able to continue to be productive. Like, how do you take correction as a man?
I don't take it as a hit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, I'm usually in a prayerful, not all the time, but most of the time in a prayerful frame of mind and mindset. It is a great question. I don't. I'm not somebody that takes things personal. Uh, and I'm from day in and day out. I look at things that come my way. That is two things. It's either to be a blessing to me or to be a lesson. And I'm in a point in my life where, when I was saying earlier about, like, I'm absent of ego, and I don't do that perfectly, but I'm very successful in doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't take correction, or whether it's whether it would be from my wife, or friendship, or uh, from family, or even on the job front, as a hit. I look at it as something healthy. And that's with anything, even listen to music, or I'm watching TV. I'm always looking at, what part do I play in this? How can I use this? You know, um,
Right.
I don't believe in coincidences. As the Bible says, there are no coincidences. So, even if I'm hearing correction, with two other people, I'm looking at, how can I grow? How can I learn from this? How can I use this to my advantage, and uh, how can I use this to better me? My feelings don't get hurt easily. You know, in this process of coming into the truth and coming into the light, it was made aware to me about a lot of things that I was doing that was false doctrine and it wasn't in the
Can I
word.
make a comment? I don't want to cut you off. I gotta vouch for this one. I gotta vouch for him. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. I haven't been knowing him too long, and I want to make this kind of quick so she can ask her last question. I gotta vouch for him. I don't know if the other things he's saying is true, but one thing I can say about him is me and him met because I told him that something that he was posting was not right. And most men will cuss you out, probably get upset. And I ain't gonna lie, he took time to pray on it and he corrected himself and he came back to me and was like, hey, what you said to me was the truth. And I just want to be friends with you because what you said, I went back and checked it and you was right. So he good when it comes down to correction. I will give him that. Like, so I gotta vouch for him on that. I got to.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, sister.
Okay.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Um, uh, you know, but yeah, this process, we do know that we got a lot of information, a lot of misinformation in this process,
Mm-hmm.
especially the when we realized we were doing things the wrong way
Yeah.
and it wasn't how things were supposed to be, because of the Gentiles and the Ammonites and people that um, tried to keep us lost and darkness and confusion, out of hate, out of evil, and out of corruption. So, uh, and I was actually grateful. I was grateful that as I hear more and more things that I was doing the wrong way, I'm actually take gratitude in it because it shows it's first of all, in order to be corrected, like we should always be grateful that we're living long enough to be shown the light and to be shown the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
I've never in my life cut somebody off or blocked somebody that told me the truth about what I was doing. Whether it was uh, as far as the truth and the light and what I was supposed to be doing or what I was doing wrong. I've never in my life cut somebody off or blocked somebody. As a matter of fact, people that tell me the truth about me and risk my feelings, I actually gravitate towards them closer because I appreciate them because they're willing to tell me the truth, instead of leaving me in the dark and leaving me confused or doing the wrong thing. So that's the way I look at correction. My best friend growing up was actually my dad, who he transitioned March 11, 2005 at a young age,
Okay.
and he was my best friend because I never took it personally. Even when I got those whoopings, and I got those beatings, he was my best friend because, he didn't want me to make the same mistakes that he made.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't imagine how hard it was to whoop a child that you love, but you don't want to see them, fall victim of what people
Yeah.
that look like me and you, what we fall victim to, incarceration, drugs, alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the ugly things that happens in mankind, as far as crime and incarceration and being locked down in institutions. So yeah, I've never in my life blocked somebody, ghosted somebody. I'm somebody, to be honest, I communicate well. And I'm somebody, I love to talk, I love to converse, you know, um, and I'm an open book. I will actually tell on myself before I tell on somebody else. That's just who I am, because the word teaches me that, seekers die in a light of exposure. So if I tell somebody the truth about me and they can't accept it, they was never for me because their love for me had terms and conditions,
Yeah.
you know. And the unfortunate part about that is sometimes those people might leave, and they might not stay. But no matter who leaves or who stays, the Most High will never leave or stay because He knows what I'm going to do before I do it. He knows what I'm gonna say before I say it. He knows what I will do and what I won't do. So I take solace in knowing that the Most High has my back, and my prayer, among other things, is for His will, not mine, to be done in my life throughout the day. And I get comfort of praying that because I know He will answer my prayers. Any prayers that He hasn't answered yet, I know He will, but it's going to be on His time. And anything He hasn't done for me, it was for the betterment of me and for the best sake of me. So, you got any more questions?
I did, but I'll pass. I think
Thank
I
you for
think we.
thank you for having fearless courage, faith, and hope to ask those questions. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Con. So, man, this has been another great episode. Thanks to the guests. Y'all did an excellent job with asking questions, answering questions. Like I said, I knew this would be a pretty good match. Very grown and mature, like I thought it would be. And y'all set the standard of how to communicate. So the water to both of y'all and for being patient with me too, because I can only give this opportunity once a week. Like do the work and everything, and trying to get everybody on one accord too. Like that's a job in itself. So man, shouts out to all three of y'all on here.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so if y'all would like to move forward, I could share y'all information off camera.
We're gonna
Um,
match.
yeah, right. Con. Is it a match? Okay, So, okay, you know what I mean. So, you know what I'm saying. So with that, man, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shabarakatah to the both of y'all, and I'm saying, and I'm gonna share y'all both each other's information. Yeah. If y'all got any last words, y'all could go ahead and say it.
Um, Nice to
Um,
meet you. Look forward to speaking with you personally soon.
Likewise, and I look forward to hearing more from you. And I want to thank you again for having the fearless faith, hope, and courage to ask those questions. I can't speak for anybody else, but I love being on the spot because I get to see where my heart and my mind is. So I'm all for questions.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, yeah, it'll show me like, man, I need to get back in the word for this, or I need to get back in prayer. I'm all for that because it's all for the betterment of me and to help me grow, evolve, elevate, transform, progress, change from within, and develop. So I'm for it.
Kind,
And thank
kind.
thank you too for this platform. I
Yes.
appreciate y'all too, man. That's y'all doing
Yeah,
service, and it's very unselfish what y'all doing. It really is. It's very unselfish, and y'all are being led in the spirit, man. So I know it's still a lot of great things to come for you two
Right.
and everybody that participates, including the viewers and people that standing by online. Blessings and blessings to all of us, and may grace, mercy, and favor anointing shed on us and be with us all of our days. Much respect and love.
Hallelujah.
con, con.
Kind, kind.
Yeah, So, man, Cinderella, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, like, you know what I'm saying? I got my shades on, but, it's feeling teary under here. You know what I mean? That's why I always
What
got my
you
shades on.
thinking? What you thinking? What you thinking?
Man, like, my heart is, like, heavy right now. Like, that was a powerful blind date right there. And, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like I just said, like, my heart is feeling real heavy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel real good that I did you know what I'm saying, service for both of them, service for the community. You know what I'm saying? This was very genuine. Like my heart feels so heavy right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are my elders right here. You know what I'm saying? I was able to help my elders, you know what I'm saying, and finding a connection. You know what I mean? That's why I said, like, my name is Ahavah and it means love. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to say that like I'm a sucker for love or nothing, but that's my name and that's who I am. So, you know what I'm saying? Like when I see genuine connections like this, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I just, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I get all teary eyed. I get the butterflies for them, not even for myself. But that's why I'm doing this work anyway. You know what I'm saying? To help people find love for real.
Right, right. I just want to say I'm grateful to be a part of it. Yeah, I am very sick, but I wanted to stick with my word. Like when I get my word, I want to stick with it. But I'm happy I came and stuff. I just wanna make sure that everything okay with them. So if y'all have any issues about each other or anything, reach out to us and talk with us first before you decide anything. I ain't gonna lie, and get a third opinion sometime, y'all. But I think they so cute. They very adorable. I think it's just so weird how me and him met. We almost was like finna not talk to each other and everything and unfriend each other. And it's just so weird that we was like, no, we not them type of Hebrews. Like, no matter if we didn't understand each other, we apologized to each other, came back and look. So this is why it's important to stick together, y'all. You can't stick with everybody, but a lot of stuff he's saying is very factual, like as far as him understanding correction. So I had to say something. I can't vouch for the rest of them men. So don't y'all come over here and be talking about, oh, vouch for me too. No, I've had to vouch for him because what he said, I
Right. Come
saw.
on.
I really did. No, I
Yeah.
better not see nothing talking about come one up me. Nah, it was because I actually what he was saying was real. I seen him do it. I seen him correct himself on some manly stuff. And I was like, I even told people about him, like, yeah, so this just show you
He a real
treat
one. For real.
people how yeah, you gotta be careful how you treat people because look what could happen. I could have been on here talking about, yeah, nah, he was a bum, he was a bad guy. No, what he said about himself, I can vouch that it is true. So yeah, that's all I want to say. I'm just grateful to you for doing this. A lot of people was talking crap. Can I say what I want to say? A lot of y'all was
Yeah,
talking
come on,
all this
go ahead.
man about the show and all that stuff like that. Look, first off, the show is
Haters,
just
haters.
starting out. It's just
Right. They
starting out.
saying don't do the show and all that. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
the negativity that's coming, I really don't like it. Like, if you gonna help the cause. But talking down on it and it's just starting out and stuff like that, you never know who might really find each other and fall in love and stuff like that. Like Facebook, people are dating on Facebook. So what's the difference if some Hebrews want to help people do it a safer way and just to get themselves out there,
Right.
somebody might see these people and be like, "Hey, I seen somebody on your show. I liked them." So I think everything you're doing, I support it and stuff like that. And they better not
Uh,
wait till you get 1 million views and then talking about, oh, they saw the vision. So that's all I
right,
gotta
right.
say. Pat
Yeah,
yourself
I
on the
mean,
back.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely the most high because, like, it's not just about getting people on the show. You know what I mean? Like, I actually have personal conversations with people to the point where, you know what I'm saying? Like, people trust me to, like, name them. You know what I'm saying? Taking on a Hebrew name means something. I don't just give people names because I'm giving them a name. When you give someone a Hebrew name, you got to know them. You got to know their background. You got to have a real in-depth conversation with them to give people names because some people are not in congregation or camps or schools, whereas though like they get a Hebrew name. So you know what I'm saying? Like this is not just a thing that I do for camera. Off camera, I'm the same way. You know what I'm saying? Anyone that come on the show, they could hit my line anytime. You know what I'm saying? And if I don't pick up, I'm gonna call back. That's me. That's Ahavah right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about love. And you know what I mean? Like I said, man, like I didn't name, you know what I'm saying, that help people come up with I'm not gonna say I named them, but I help them come up with names based on who they are as a person. You know what I mean? So Like for people want to try to throw hate out there, oh, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like we tried to promote the show on somebody live earlier today, and they talking about you know what I'm saying? Man, speak on that, sis, but don't mention no names, but speak on it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so man, it's been so much crazy negative pushback, but yeah, somebody was like, no to the show is dangerous. They was like, it's dangerous to do that. So I'm just like, I can understand we do need a little bit more benefits for y'all, like, you know, resources and stuff. But the show is just started, y'all. I just feel like the negative pushback is I'm finna say what I really wanna say is because y'all ain't do it first.
Go
I
ahead,
just
go ahead.
want to be for real.
Come on,
I want to
come
be
on,
for real.
come on.
Yeah.
Talk that shit. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
just want to be for real. Like, come on, y'all. It could have been a show like this where it, you know, it could have been something like this. So many Hebrews don't have no spouses. They might got a spouse all the way in Florida. They could be in California. Who's helping that get together? They wouldn't even know about each other if they wasn't getting exposure. So it's just like, yeah, we gotta let the Most High do His thing. But He say faith without work is dead. So
Con.
you believe
Yeah.
when He's gonna send you somebody and then you ain't putting the work in because it's not no safe dating apps for Hebrews and stuff. He's making a safe way for Hebrews to be able to meet each other. That right there gotta be some type of good, y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Salakia.
just here to make sure everything
Salakia.
okay. So
Captain Salakia. I'm gonna just say it. Salakia. Captain Tazariak, you are wrong about blind dating faith. This is an absolute necessity in the Hebrew Israelite community. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody don't have to join your school in order to, you know what I'm saying, like be married. You know what I'm saying? Because we
I
not
got
in ICPK, you know what I'm saying? So like, I mean, I just gotta be real about it. Just because we're not in the ISUBK don't mean that we not in the truth. It don't mean that we got fake Israel. No, don't mean we fake Israelites. Don't mean we got fake Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Relationships. Not everybody is, you know what I'm saying, Ariala from, you know what I'm saying, the House of Bussies. You know what I mean? We the Grafted in Pod. We created Blind Dating Faith. You know what I'm saying? The only Hebrew Israelite dating show that's out there. You know what I'm saying? Anything that come after this is watered down. You know what I mean? Salakia. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Anything come after this, man, they just following, you know what I'm saying, what we doing, but you can't copy respect. You know what I mean? Like anything y'all got going on, y'all gonna bring in other nations, white people, Hamites, Kemits, and all that. Nah, man. Right here, Blind Dating Faith, we work for the 12 tribes of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians and Mexicans, First Nations, men and women. You know what I mean? That's the, you know what I'm saying, Blind Dating Faith. Salakia, go ahead, man. Kwam Yasharala, you know what I mean? I think, you know what I'm saying? I think you was on mute. But you know what I'm saying? In closing, do you
yeah,
got
I'm gonna
anything?
mute. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I ain't
if you
want
got
to laugh too
anything,
hard.
you know what? You know what I'm saying? In closing, you know what I'm saying, on my end, I'm gonna let you speak too. But in closing, you know what I mean, join the Facebook group, the only Facebook group for Blind Dating Faith. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Type in Blind Dating Faith and join the Facebook group. You know what I'm saying? Sisters, invite your homies, brothers, invite your homies. You know what I'm saying? It's all love. Join the Facebook group, get tapped in with the show. You know what I'm saying? For updates, you know what I'm saying, to catch the show live, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? We work for the season in age, we work for the younger in age, you know what I mean? Straight like that. You got anything you want to add before we close out?
Oh, nothing. I'm just proud of the two guests who came up and they showed that they not scared, because that's one thing that the Bible say is not to fear. So if you a Hebrew and you talking about you scared, I'm gonna
Con,
question if you a real Hebrew.
con, right. And with that, Captain Tazariak, you wrong about this show. You know what I'm saying? Straight like that. We out.
Ahavah Cinderella. Mashiach, Yahweh Shabbat.
Lord Heavenly Father, we come to you.
Yahweh Shem
In
Mashiach,
the name of your only begotten Son, Christ.
Yahweh Shem
Ask you to
Mashiach,
bless
Yahweh
us and watch
Shabbat.
over us and keep us, Lord.
Yahweh Shem Mashiach,
Come on.
Yahweh Shabbat.
Wake up from sleep, feeding the sheep. If you want the kingdom, you must be born again. The Bible like a sword, precepts so sharp it'll pierce your skin. We ain't never gonna break a bed. 2 Corinthians 4, 8 through 10. Before Yahweh Shai come, it's time to repent and get grafted in. Get grafted in. It's time to repent and get grafted in. Before Yahweh Shai come, it's time to repent and get grafted in. Get grafted in. Get grafted in. Before Yahweh Shai come, it's time to repent and get grafted in.